The woman on the point. There was one day that changed everything about why I understood I was there. I was moving through the point and I saw her. An elderly, dark-skinned black woman sitting on a concrete front stoop. The only thing left of the house that used to be there. That stoop was sitting on a bare concrete slab, steps leading up to nothing. The house itself completely gone. Not damaged. Gone. Around her in every direction. It was the same story. Slabs and rubble and piles of what used to be people's lives compressed into mounds of wet wood and broken concrete and twisted metal. No intact structure standing anywhere on that block. Nothing. Just the bones of a neighborhood that the water had erased. She had both hands over her face, head bent down into her palms. She wasn't crying loudly. She wasn't making a scene. She was just sitting there in the silence of all that destruction, completely still, like a woman who had run completely out of what to do next. The kind of still that happens when a person has nothing left to reach for. She caught my eye and I pulled up to her. I got out and asked if there was anything I could do. She lifted her face out of her hands and looked at me. And what I saw in that face I will carry for the rest of my life. There was no hope in it. Not suppressed hope, not fading hope, no hope at all. Just a hollow, exhausted despair that had moved past grief into something quieter and more final than grief. She had the eyes of someone who had already accepted that things were not going to get better. She told me her lot needed to be cleared before FEMA could set a trailer for her. That was the requirement. Cleared lot, accessible utilities, electricity to the pole. Without a cleared lot, she had nothing. No temporary home, no starting point, no way forward. And she couldn't afford to pay anyone to do it. She didn't know how she was going to make it happen. She was sitting on the steps of a house that didn't exist anymore, on a street full of houses that didn't exist anymore, with no money and no options and nowhere to go. I told her I'd be back in the morning. The next day, after work, I came back alone, fired up the Bobcat and cleared that lot from one end to the other. Every piece of rubble, every broken board, every slab fragment and tangled debris pile moved, stacked, cleared. I didn't charge her $1, didn't think about it, didn't hesitate. That was never a transaction. That was the reason I had a Bobcat on a trailer in Biloxi, Mississippi in the first place. Within a week, she had her FEMA trailer. I wasn't there when it arrived. I didn't need to be. I just knew. The lot was clear. The utility pole was accessible. The system could finally do what it was supposed to do for her. Somewhere on the point, a woman who had been sitting on concrete steps leading to nowhere was going to sleep inside four walls again. That was the moment I understood why the whisper had pulled me south. It was her.